My name is Sivarajarajendran, and so what I have done is that, so I've been in civil services. Okay, okay. Record potra. So I've been in civil services for the past, since 2010, I have been writing these exams. So I know a little bit of what to do for this exam. So today we'll talk about this anthropology as an optional. Anthropology. Okay. Okay, so anthropology as an optional is what I'm going to talk about. So basically, I go from the perspective of this examination, then explanation. Okay, so what you have to know is that I have already made such videos that's there in YouTube, but I'll generally explain. Okay, in anthropology, you should know that, or in any subject in civil services, you have this paper 1 and paper 2. So most important is that this paper 1 is always important. Paper 1 is the concept. Paper 1 is the conceptual thing that you should have to the level of at least an undergraduation. Yeah. At least to an extent of undergraduation, then only you will be able to apply whatever is there in the syllabus in the question paper. And you need a bit of a liking and an understanding towards biology. That's very, very important, because it can, see, even if you don't have a background on biology, an interest in biology, see, some people are very averse to the word even gene. So if I say gene, they will be, no, it's not very easily understandable, something like that. But at least you should not have an aversion towards all these things. So once you get this, you have to know how the syllabus is split. The syllabus, how they have designed in a way is that first they talk about this biological anthropology. Okay, biological anthropology. This is where you have, so I'll show you with the syllabus. Always have the syllabus also. Okay, always have the syllabus. In the first paper, you will have this. You start from here. Okay, so if you have the syllabus, you have to start from here. This is something which is about the disciplines in anthropology, that once you go through the syllabus, you'll understand. You have to start from this 1.4. From here, it starts all these things. All the things are biological anthropology, or anything which is related to, see, from here till here, all the things are relevant to what is called as this biological anthropology. This is the most important, or this is the most important stream in anthropology. This was the origin of anthropology. So why it originated as a discipline is that it was to decipher human origins and any other stuff related to humans. Okay, so that's why they have given it in the first thing. And next point, you should know how much is it contributing to the question paper. This is the syllabus. Next, you have to know the contribution that it makes to the question paper is that you will know that there is 250 marks. That is paper 1. Okay, paper 1 I am talking about. 250 marks will be there. If you check most of the marks, okay, 80 or 70 to 80. 70 to 80 marks is actually biological anthropology. This is where you will find how the evolution has happened, what kind of an evolution, who we are and how we came here. This question is, some people would have in your mind, how did we come to this place? Any idea? We just dropped from, any idea? Okay. There was a monkey which stepped out of the, see, the point is that It's more than that. We, for example, have there is, you would have seen green trees. Is there any relation that we have with those trees? Any relation? We have to protect them. That's correct. Okay, that's part of ecological anthropology. Okay, but do we have any relationship with that tree? We depend. That is why we have this cultural, ecological anthropology. And ecology, we have to, deforestation, we have to stop, and everything, sustainable development. Yes, I'm asking, is there any close relationship between us and the trees? That is dependency. That is dependency. That is dependency. That is why we are able to live. We are taking oxygen. Yeah, that's the point. So it's dependency. I am asking, is there any relation? For example, me and my father are related. Nearly most of the genes that I have derived, or anything that I'm speaking, has been derived from my father or mother, both of them. I'm asking relationship. Is there any relationship between the trees and, build up? See, we share our genes with them. Nearly 40% of our gene is shared by, that is, the gene that you have in your body that is making you to talk is part of that. That's why we need to protect that, because they are our relatives. The sustainable development angle or the dependency angle suggests that we have to protect them because, they are part of this environment in which we live. But what I'm saying is that anthropology will teach you that they are your relatives. Snake, we immediately have this aversion towards snake, right? Every religious book, there is a religion chapter also, we'll talk about it. Every religion talks about other animals as good. I think in Hinduism, it's okay. In Hinduism also, பாம்புக்கு பால் ஊத்துற அந்த point இருக்கு, and you have the Shivan, but anyways, okay. But in Bible, it is given as a negative shade. But for snake, we have, we share our gene. Snake, we share our gene. That is, anything that you are made of is similarly composed of their body as well. So are they only, some dependents which are living in beside you, or are they your relatives? Who teaches that? Biological anthropology teaches that. That's how we should know. See, it's biological anthropology. It's not just about, a monkey came from, no. It's not that it's going to step down and they have, become humans. No. We are also going to see so many other facets of, like, for example, one more example I'll tell you. See, these are all things which we will learn. One more example is that this, in GS paper, they asked this question. In GS, there was, I think in the GS classes, I have spoke about it. Last time there was a question on mammals. Did you see that? Mammals, they asked about which of the mammals are nocturnal. There was a macaque, I think, lion-tailed macaque. There was a lion-tailed macaque, and civet, there was one, and one more thing was a deer, I think. Something like that. அதையும் ஒரு கொஞ்ச நேரம் அதையும் போட்டுடலாமா? அந்த இதையும் போட்டுருங்க. போட்டுட்டு ஆஃப் பண்ணிடுங்க. சரியா? So the answer is in anthropology. Answer is in anthropology, which we will read in biological anthropology. That is because most of the mammals, this I think in the class I have spoke about it. Most of the mammals, not all the mammals, most of the mammals, we had derived our origin along with dinosaurs. We had been there when the dinosaurs were part of this environment as well. This same place in which I am standing now was occupied by dinosaurs. See, today we have this human ingenuity. We have built all this building and we have, standing up tall and talking. At that point, the dinosaur was reaching to this point. How do you compete with that? Every animal at that point, including mammals, were a small kind of a primate. Small. It was kind of a rabbit, not rabbit, rat. Rodents. Every mammal. we were living in the shades of the dark. We were all Batman, so Batman and Batwomen. So all the mammals are actually nocturnal, or we evolved as nocturnal. Now do you understand why do you not sleep late? We see, I think most of UPSC aspirants sleep late. Leah, I did that. I hope you see. Most of us have this habit of sleeping late at night. That's because it's in our genetic trait, because we were a nocturnal animal wanting to save us from these, all these big animals, which was part of this environment. Same environment in which we are walking, it was occupied by none other than dinosaurs, which were very huge. This is what we will read here. Here the answer is, so they have given one only. But answer logically, this one is not a nocturnal animal. So how from a nocturnal animal, which was a rodent kind of thing, how have we evolved into a big animal which is actually looking everything in the light? This is what I will teach you here. You get this idea? It's not merely, about, evolution of traits, how our bodies change. Exactly the features and everything is part of the syllabus. But how all this process happened is also part of this biological anthropology. Once you understand this biological anthropology, then you will understand why all this. See, for example, one more thing is that this part. So one more question again. The second question also, which of the 2023, not now, which of the animal uses tools? I think there was one more question. Exact nature of the question I forgot. Tools. I think they have given some bono. What did they give? Something they gave. Like bear. They gave four 2023. So which of the following animals uses some tools? Some question was there. So if you see in that, only one animal will have this kind of a hand. Only one animal will be there. Others will not have, this kind of a flexibility. See, they cannot hold something. They cannot hold something like this. They cannot do like this. They otter, swamp deer, fishing cat. One more is orangutan. Orangutan will be the only thing. If it, see, orangutan's hand will be like this. So I have to see the picture so that I'll know. It is not like this. How it is like a hook. So how from that we have come? So from that, what is the change that we have done? All that is part of this. All the basic principles are part of this. This is the first part. The second part is the cultural part. This also holds around, some maximum weightage, some 60 to 70 to 80, 60. You keep it as 60. This part is the next most important syllabus, I would say. See, in this, so many other things are also there. See, our ancestors, that is the point. We are in search of, our ancestors. That's the first part. We have not merely evolved from, some random person who was there few generations ago. Millions and millions of years, we have to see each of these things. There is Homo habilis, Homo erectus, there is Neanderthals. See, we have to see from 7 million. In that chart, it will be there. We have to see from 7 million years. There is Sahelanthropus chardensis, there is Oronin tugensis, there is Ardipithecus cadaba. If you look at it, Ardipithecus cadaba, there is Australopithecus anamensis, Afarensis, Africanus, Paranthropus, Habilis, Erectus, Neanderthals. Then we have come. This whole thing did not come in one day. But what was the, plight of those people? How do you say they are our ancestors? Why do you say they are our ancestors? How, for example, chimpanzees are not our ancestors? Monkeys are not our ancestors. They are our cousins, like the trees, like the snakes. But our ancestors are what I have spoke now. These things I will talk about in this, biological anthropology. It's actually fun. So how the skull changed, everything we'll talk about. The next is this cultural anthropology. You look at this from here. The greatest. So from here, look at it: culture, society, marriage, family, kinship, economic organization, political organization, religion. So till here, all of this forms part of what is called as cultural anthropology. Okay? So what is it that, which is different from the animals which I spoke about? Let us assume that lion-tailed macaca or a tree or any other animal that you see. How is it that, this animal which is talking now has covered the entire world, not the other animals? You get the question? The animal which is talking now, this animal or the species belonging to this animal has covered the entire planet. Not even a single place that we don't find this animal part of that ecosystem. How is it that this animal has done that, other animals have not done that? You get the question? Ability to form big groups. Okay. So elephants are also able to form groups, but big groups. Cognitive. So brain is important. Elephants have bigger brain.
The brain development, majority of the brain development completes within the gestational age.
Okay.
For humans, we learn from the environment.
Okay. Okay. This is the point. And one more, see, that is what he said exactly. We are the only species which can form as a bigger group of animals, not a smaller group of animals. For example, in each religion, each principal religion, some 5-6 principal religions of the world are there. Each religion contains 1 billion people. Billion. That is 890, something like that. It's not possible in any other animal. But for that, the principal trait that we have is called as culture. This is the point. No other animal, if you see, will have something as a culture. Culture is something like, as he said, it's a collection of knowledge. Culture is nothing but a collection of knowledge. We give it to the next generation, so that they don't have to do it all over again. See, I have written 8 mains. You don't have to write it all over again. That's why no other animal can do this. If you ask a chimpanzee to teach, so for example, chimpanzees, why they are not able to form this means they will actually go from the start, teaching from the start. Today, I can tell you, you start where I have completed my 8 mains. You don't have to start from, for example, scratch, what I did, what mistakes I did. That's what I teach. That's what every teacher does. That's why, Mata, Pita, Guru, see, Guru, but why they have this, is that because that's what is human society. No other society can do that. This is only a culturally, important society like humans can do that. One more thing I'll tell you. Okay, one more thing also. See, so many things are there. I'll talk about many other things where this culture becomes, or why this family is important, why this kinship is important. Kinship, not relationship. Why this religion is important, why this the group that he mentioned was political system. The second important, or one is culture. The second reason why humans are able to do this, why other animals are not able to do this, means humans are the only only animal who can believe in things which does not exist. Abstract. IAS is an abstract thing. You cannot convince a lion or a tiger to study IAS. That too, it will clear or not clear, whether it will happen or not happen, no one knows. You cannot convince a chimpanzee doing that. How did it happen? That's the point. It happened through culture. Why do you want IAS so much? If you had been born in UK or Albania, or Azerbaijan, would you have aspired to become an IAS officer? Your culture determines what is significant and what you learn as a story. We are the story we tell ourselves. Correct, Alia? See, if you think about it, what we term as important, what we want as important, goal, passion. Sir, ye to mera passion hai. Who taught you that passion? Did you teach yourself or somebody taught you that? This is the point. In India, becoming a cricketer, yesterday, the whole cricket, I think, India cricket is important. Every child aspires to want to become Virat Kohli or Dhoni, or in my time, I wanted to become Sachin Tendulkar or something like that. Why is that a child which is born in USA not aspiring to become Sachin Tendulkar? Same, right? Why? Culture. Where you are determines who you are. The story you tell yourself. That's why that's why you will have eccentric people in each of these zones who then become leaders and change the course of this world. They don't adapt to anything. If you look at people, Gandhiji, for example, the culture of India in 1940 said that religion was very important. According to religion, we have to have countries. But he rose up and said that no, I will not allow over my dead body. People will not understand. You will not understand the fact that what he did was very important. But culture determines our attitude, but leaders rise above that and give a direction to the nation. So that's why we have constitution. You get this idea? Constitution is nothing but a collection of cultural, values, ethics, morality, driven in the form of a 400 articles. That's what is. Now you see why cultural anthropology is relevant. Now you get this idea. We were discussing relevance of cultural anthropology. One thing which I spoke about, some empathy and things like that. Second thing, can we also talk about relevance of cultural anthropology is that to study the constitution of different countries as to how the countries are growing. Nowhere this point is there. You understand the point that I am saying. The point that is there in the notes is different. That we will write. Don't worry. But you have to understand and relate things in the syllabus and write. You will get a higher score. Definitely 40-50 marks higher will come. This is how we need to prepare, right? So this is cultural anthropology. This is the part which I showed you, right? So religion and everything. The next part is this. The next part is genetics. Third is genetics. Okay. So from here it will start. So if you see here, from here it is starting. The whole DNA, RNA, how this whole vaccine and things and everything. We will have so many things still here. Okay, it's somewhere here. Third part is this gene and genetics. So you have to know this also is very, very important. Somewhere around 40-50 marks, somewhere. Okay. That is, humans understood. The meaning of anthropology is that the study of humans in their biological evolution and their cultural development. That's what is the study of anthropology. Anthropology definition is this only. We are studying a human. It will be it will be given as a man, but now they have changed it. Study of a human in relation to the biological development, how we have come, how our hands have developed, how our minds have developed, how our spines have developed, how our legs have developed, how our pelvis or this hip has developed, so that we have this posture. This is the biological anthropology. Next, second part in relation to the culture, how we have developed, how have our friendship developed, how our religion developed. So, for example, friendship has developed from in the forest. Let us assume that in the forest, we are all there. So we evolved from forest. We will talk about that. We evolved from forest. How did this friendship would have evolved? Why is this such intimacy towards friendship? Any idea? This I have spoken in the class. Why is this? Friendship is important, Anilya. Yeah, Mustafa, friendship. There is so much of closeness towards friendship. That's because it evolved with us. It evolved with us in a sense that, like how we evolved with a child. You look at a child. Have you seen the immediate attraction that you have when you look at a child? Do you know that? Why is that? That's because when you look into the eyes of a child, there is a brain. Your enzymes develop. There is an oxytocin. Women, it has more. Oxytocin is the happiness hormone. When you look at a child, your body immediately generates, oxytocin. That's why we become happy. That's why Nehru said, if you are stressed, go and play with children. That's because your body is aligned for that. Anything that we do has this alignment of biological necessity. Then why friendship is important? How is that bond developed means that also has this basis. Imagine a scenario, we are all there in the forest. Okay. So one day what happens is that my leg is broken. So who is going to deliver food for me? Swiggy, Zomato. Today it's not possible. Who is that person who will go and get that food? My friend. He'll go, or she will go, get that food, come back, give it to me, also give it to my family. By that, he is protecting, or she is protecting me and my family. Next day, when he breaks his leg, I will go. You can ask me, so if I go to the forest, I can come back, I can save it for myself, right? Why didn't I do that? You understood? See, I go, why am I giving the food to this person who has broken the leg, who may or may not give me the food back next day? Instead, I can save, right? That's what we do today, right? Why is that did not happen that time? There was no refrigeration. The best refrigeration was here. See, instead of saving in a refrigerator, you save it in someone's stomach. Next day, that's why uppittavanai kadaisi varaikku ninaindrathu. Today also it is there. That's why in elections, I think I have spoke about it in the class. North India, National Food Security Act, they give this rice and other things, North India, they also did this fact that they gave salt. Why, Now only I said, Uppitta, in the elections, it became a very big thing. In India, no one goes outside anyone who has given them salt. Now you think about why Gandhiji used salt in the Dandi March. It has a connection, relevance of anthropology. You get this idea? Somebody does this Dandi March with this salt breaking law. Why did he choose salt? Yes? It's essential for everyone. See, everything is essential, right? Cloth is also essential. See, there is an anthropological reason. The anthropological reason was this only. We don't go beyond anyone who has fed us. Even today it's breaking. Today it's actually slowly breaking because of globalization and other things. It's breaking. But the cultural anthropology or culture is so strong. Today we have, right? You should not. That's why you will have in the leaf, banana leaf, all the food, and they will have little bit of salt. Sambarla salt da irukku. If you want, you increase it, and they'll say. But the meaning is that you are forming a relationship, which is, you formed in the forest, which has now transformed in the sense that you send memes. Today you see that. I think everyone, Nala, Ellaru, first if I see something which is nice, immediately a friend. Whether he sees or not, I do not care. Why is that done? Means it is done for bonding relationship, even miles apart, because it forms part of this culture, which is part of this kinship and other relationship, which we will talk. All these things, if you see, all these things has the backing of this genetics. The third part, that is whatever I have spoke, whatever biological trait that we have designed ourselves to, contain this body, whatever culture and knowledge that we have designed for, propagation, all that is for one thing and one thing only, which is to transfer your gene. See, correct? We are just a machine. Do you know that? Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, when Arjuna becomes very, see, are you, okay, Puri, your understanding? I'm taking it as an, see, I don't know what exactly they do in orientation, but this is orientation. So I'll give you two more things are there. I'll give you that. Then classes, I'll explain how many classes are there and things like that. This is the syllabus that we are going to talk about. The genetics part that I was talking about. And do you know that this fact I have said in several times? Your body is there. Okay. Do you know how many cells are there in your body? Cells. So that is, you are made up of cells. Cells. That is, see, you keep it here. You zoom it into this. It will go into a cell. That is, you are made up of cells like this. So how many trillion do you know? Some 30 trillion or something like that. 30 to 33 trillion. Trillion. Not billion, trillion. So 12 zeros. Okay. In this, you will have what is called as a nucleus. In this, so zoom into that, you will start having what is called as a DNA. That is your information that is there, which has been transferred to you from your, ancestors. Now it is part of you. It's there in this place. So you will have what is called as the next chromosome will be there. So like this, it will be there. So 23 pairs are there. They will talk about this and other things here. But do you know that? If you take one thing, that is, you take the gene here, that is the information which is coded. You have to put it in a rope. Then you have to add each of these things. So there is 33 trillion. So you will take one from your one cell, put it into a rope, add 33 trillion. You know where the distance reaches? Huh? World circumference. You got the, that is your body, not anyone. You, the walking person, you see anyone you see, you go to them, you pull up a cell, from that you pull up this DNA, which is there, which, see, this is differentiation that we'll talk later. But DNA, it is an, some thread kind of thing, which codes for your everything which you are. I'm putting it as a rope from one cell. Then I am adding all these things. So I am tying one thing. So you are saying it is reaching the circumference of the earth. You know where it reaches? It reaches Pluto. See, that is one cell I will take. I will add up everything. That means that you are the extent of this solar system. You are walking, talking solar system in a microcosm. That's what anthropology taught me. Now you understand the relevance of anthropology. That's genetics. That's why we are so sure to protect all those information. See, even today I cannot comprehend this, fact that something which is there in my body in this length can reach, how is it able to reach till Pluto? Such kind of an information is coded in you. Such kind of an information has to be protected. See, even a simple mobile, we are protecting with face, we are protecting. Then how much you will protect this gene? For that protection only, you have this vehicle, which is called as biological anthropology. You have this culture, which will protect it immaterial of anything. Why do you think that we have a political system? The politics, why do you think that it is there? Why do we need this constitution? Go to the extent of this gene. It's to protect your gene, right? Article 21 says liberty. Article 14 says equality. No person shall take away your life except save as law. That is, if you are killing somebody, I will take your life. Other than that, the whole information that you have stored, which can reach your solar system, will be protected at whatever cost. No one can take away that. You get this idea? That's the meaning of cultural anthropology. So, for protecting all these information which you have these things readily available. So, one thing we will study and then come to this. Next, we will see next is the application. See, now we have to see the application. For example, you will be applying it for sports. So look at it here. You will be applying it for sports. You will be applying it for finding crime. You will be applying it for example, you will be applying it for your dress design. So for example, see, I think I told you, I bought this jean. ஒரு jean வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு ஆசையில வாங்கிட்டேன். Last 2 months I am not able to wear that. The heat which is there, I am not able to wear that. Who designs that? Who designs that? Another culture. That's why they have designed in this way, right? We are not equipped to handle such kind of a thing. Who teaches that? Means anthropology teaches that. This is here. This is the application part. Now you see this. Fourth, I will leave for one thing. Last, application. This is also very, very significant portion. So this is very significant. This is very significant. Genetics is important, but mark-wise, they have a little lower weightage than these things. This application part is very, very important. For example, forensic anthropology. Tomorrow you will be an IPS officer, right? So tomorrow you will be an IPS officer. How do you, for example, somebody dies and you are finding a skull. How do you determine case against whoever has murdered? General. No, you have only a skull. Okay. Dental, you will have the skull as well. You will see, we have to find, with the help of all these things that we have studied, we will be finding first if the skull is of a male or a female. Second, if the skull is of a child or an adult. Third, if the skull happens to be of this particular person who is missing, skull or any part which is there. One example, see, then I will go to the teeth. For example, I have done a root canal, so it's there part of me forever. Okay, root canal. So if I disappear someday and you find some skull, so the teeth alignment, if that person does not have a root canal, that's not me. So I'm somewhere here, somewhere stored, somewhere. Movie, that's forensic anthropology. Not only all these what is that, fingerprints and stuff. Like fingerprints is older. Or for example, Leo movie irukla. Leo movie, our director on anthropology படிச்சிருந்தா முடிச்சிருக்கோம். நீங்க தான், you are the Leo. Simple is that your hair strands have DNA that you can match with. அதான் அவரோட father இருக்காரு. The father is Salman Khan. Sanjay Dutt. You have not seen the Leo movie? Very good. Nice. Leo Paglia. Leo Paglia. The Leo, they have made this into this, it's cultural. It's like on the first day, first show, Talaiva, it's not something which is truth. The tangible, but they have made, for example, see, but the movie revolves around somebody disappearing, and they say that this person is the person who has disappeared. So they keep on talking, the whole movie is that you are the person who disappeared. What you have to do simply is that take the DNA of the person and match it with the father. Then you will find whether that person is disappeared or not. Okay. All this in application of anthropology. Okay. Then you have what is called as race. Different races we are having in this world. Race, or concept of Negroids, Mongoloid, so many races are there in the world. So we'll learn that. Last but not the least, so these five are the very important thing. All this five is built on the structure of thinkers. These are the people who have made all these subjects possible. So this is the structure which is there, which is thinkers, which is very, very difficult from a young age perspective. I'm saying, as you grow old, you will understand very simply. But I will explain you these things and give you the notes. Then you will understand better. Now when you see what these thinkers have said, it will be difficult. Notes also, it will be difficult. I'll explain what these thinkers have said, like, how we have had this discussion. Then you can go back, take the notes that I am giving you, match with the notes which are available in the website. You will be able to understand better. All these things comprise of nothing else but the whole of anthropology. Okay. The second paper, I am not going to go very deep. I'm just going to show you the second paper, which is very, very simple, concise. Not much you need to learn in that. See, this is first paper. So first paper. Second paper is very simply the application in any subject. You take PSIR, you take sociology, whatever be the subject. The first paper will be the concept. The second paper will be application in relation to India. For example, geography, if you take world geography, world oceanography, everything you will read. India relation you will read in second paper. Geography, in that there is a one chapter. There are 10 chapters in the second paper. That one chapter in geography is our entire second paper syllabus. It's not we'll learn about caste system. So there we will, culture, I said, right? Culture has many traits. Race I have spoke about in that. Culture, religion, everything we spoke about. You said that we are the animals we are because we are forming different groups, correct? This is one type of group. So this type of group is prevalent in India, so we will read that. Okay. Culture, village, and then tribes and tribal India. This is the maximum portion in this part. All these are nothing but a collection of people as a group, as a culture for propagating their gene. Now you see it here. Many of the second paper is actually GS paper 1. You have, look at this. Once you learn all these groups, we need to know how they conflict with each other. You have regionalism, communalism, ethnic and political movements, which is actually paper 1. Paper 1 GS paper 1, if you see, communalism, I think secularism, many things are there. Then here, look at it, Buddhism, that is their religion I am talking. Here in India, what are the principal religions which are there? And this is, see, tribes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, other backward classes. Every social, sector we will learn. All this overlaps with paper 1. All. You can take any topic here. Okay, any topic you can take it here. You can take it from here. Tribe and tribal communities, Indian villages, caste system. I think this time also there was a question on caste system. 2023 mains la GS paper 1, if you see, there was a question on caste system. All the second paper is nothing but your paper GS paper 1. So it will be very easy. See, this is the most easiest part of this anthropology which I have known. I hope I have explained you. Any doubts you may have, you can ask your doubts now. The division of second paper we will talk about, in the class. Books per se, okay, or books per se. I'll show you the books. Very simple. Very simple books. I am not a staunch believer in all these, what is that, notes. I think it is some, okay, last. Okay. Okay, I am not a staunch believer in this notes, but I will give you some notes and I will say that Vivek Basme, there is one book. I will say in the class, that's enough. Okay. Other than that, this book, one book is just there, which is called as this Ember and Ember. I think it's given. It's given as a reference, but this is the principal book. Now they have changed it. Now earlier they used to have this B.M. Das, P. Nath and everything, but now they have changed this book, or whatever questions that they ask is from this Ember and Ember. Whatever question. Pertaining to the syllabus of covering that book. Biological cultural anthropology is from this book only. Genetics is separate. Genetics, thinkers, look at this. Thinkers, for thinkers, I will give you notes. Okay, I will give you notes. There is some NCRT or relevant book is there. You can read that book. It's difficult. This book is difficult. Notes which I give, the explanation which I give, something which I send as from the internet. Then there is an NCRT kind of a book. You can read that. You will have an holistic understanding. So this book and one for thinker. That's enough. This is for the paper 1. Paper 2, as I said, see, for paper 2, there is no need of a book. I will give you some notes. Basic. I suggest few books. One book maybe I'll suggest. And there is a Zaka report, which I have mentioned here. Zaka report is there. Everything is from that. Second paper. Zaka report. XA. Okay. I think this is more than enough for anything that we study, but more so when we start studying, when we start looking at these topics, I'll go in depth and I'll talk about relevant things which you have to gather. This is the basic introduction which I wanted to give you. Any other doubts you may have, you can ask. Paper 1 now. Paper 2 is very, very, very easy. So paper 2 is actually, I can say with complete assurance that you can get very high scores in paper 2 if you have done your basics right in paper 1 and taken some important notes that I'm going to give. That's enough. That we see and it will overlap with paper 1 in GS paper 1. GS paper 1, usually they see this concept like, if you study this subject, you will cover the entire portions or something like that. But it's anthropology, second paper. See, for example, this time, reservation for OBCs is there, okay, but Islam, or in Islam, there was a campaign which was happening. I hope you know that 2024 campaign was happening, and there was an issue of whether Muslims should have been given reservation, something like that. It's a question which is going to come in GS paper 1, not directly, they'll ask differently, which we will deal it in second paper. That is whether they OBC, what is the meaning of an scheduled caste, scheduled tribe? Meaning we should know, right? What is the meaning? What is the meaning of an OBC? Whether in other religions OBCs are there, other religion scheduled castes are there. What is the difference in OBCs in Hinduism and other religion? All this second paper. It's a general discussion which we will have. And once you start reading newspaper, you will have higher understanding of second paper. First paper is the most significant part. I'll start with biological anthropology. I'll start with how our evolution happened, the story of our evolution. Any other doubts which you may have? Class. Okay. Class. Okay. Class 2 days per week. 2 days. Uh, 2 days per week, which is actually Saturday. Saturday and Sunday. Okay. This will be more than enough. And the class length usually, see, usual time, because I have said it to others also, because my house is in Tambram. So I have to come from there. So I have kept it 11 a.m. because of that. Okay. So 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. If it is raining, so if I am not able to come, then we will have it in Zoom. Only if it is, not possible, because sometimes it rains very hard. Usually in the southern Chennai, the first on the rain is actually, batters sometimes. So if I am not able to come, we will have it in Zoom. But other things, we will have it here. And one more thing is that, because answer writing is that, answer writing, people kept on asking. See, usually answer writing has to be done in an organic way, like our evolution. What we do is, we have a separate, thing for answer writing and stuff like that. How you should do means along with the syllabus. So every week, so if I complete some syllabus, let us assume biological anthropology, I complete a syllabus, I will give you questions in that each week. So I would want you to 50 marks. I would want you to write that. In the next class, so next class, that is the class which I have given you. The next class, last 1 hour, we will discuss that. I will show you how you have to write an answer, because today we were discussing a question on one question. Is this clear? This class on the two days. And total, see, usually my format solira. So format on the my format of teaching will be the syllabus I showed you, right? So for example, so my format is that usually, see, Neanderthal, everything that people will tell, but in relation to one thing, I'll say, okay, let us assume that, okay, this adaptive radiation. There are so many topics are there. Adaptive radiation is one topic. What I will do is that, okay, what I will do is that, okay, I have the notes for this. That is for the topic, for every topic. Not like, religion means I will just wander around something. No, that's not possible, because this is a civil services examination. At the end of the day, I can talk whatever I can, but it comes down to syllabus. It comes down to, for example, sacred and profane in religion. I have to talk about, because they have given a word, sacred and profane. Myth, there is a word. So what I will do is that, for that topic, or for the topic which I showed you now, I have one notes is there. First, you have to copy that. Then we will have a discussion, general discussion. Okay, general discussion about this topic, adaptive radiation. Okay, we'll have a discussion. Then correlate with this notes. First you copy down, so then we'll have the discussion. Then you can correlate with the notes with the question that UPSC has asked. So you should bring the question paper. Prida, question paper you will have. So for example, you have that book, right? Something like that. You will have the question paper and syllabus. First, I will give you the notes for each. See, other point enna, you should read like, you should not be like, sir, religion chapter, abdila illa. Religion chapter is important, but more so important is, okay, so look at this. More so important is that the words evolutionary approach. So I will give you something in relation to that, then we will talk. You get this idea? Sacred and profane, myth, ritual, myth and ritual. I will give you something, then we will talk what is a myth and a ritual in relation to religion, in relation to everything which is part of anthropology. What is the meaning of a myth and a ritual? Why should we have a ritual? All the self-help groups, self-help books, what do they sell you? All the self-help books, 5 a.m. club, what do they sell you? 5 a.m. club or book, all the toppers of UPSC have suggested that book. Have you not read that book? Atomic Habits, have you heard about a book? What do they sell? What do they write in that? Ideas, okay. They sell you rituals. Atomic Habits means you do this here, you do this. Timetable 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock newspaper, 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock dinner. See, UPSC dinner you'll sleep. It's a ritualized, we are a ritualized animal. Whatever I do, now what did you ask me as a, is it? Now you ask me, sir, how many classes? It's a ritual. You come at Saturday, Sunday, you will have at 11 o'clock, then you will have this question, then you will do this notes, then discussion. It's a ritual. Human beings like ritual. That's what we have turned it into, a ritual in religion. So first notes, then we will have this discussion, then we will relate it to the question which is there, then you go back and try to write it. I'll tell you where, from which book which is there, which is Ember and Ember, nothing else. No? Any I have missed it? Format. So in the question discussion, in the class, because it's very difficult for me, for example, how I have seen, all what names you have said, they conduct this test, how means they just give you a set of question and a set of key, they ask you to write, you go write, you mug up, you write it, they will correct. Okay, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. That will give you a sense of completion, okay, but it's a false notion of completion. That you feel that you have completed for this exam, no, because I have seen that mains will be completely different. That's a different part. That's why I have suggested this fact that once you do this, then you will be able to write whatever question paper that. So for example, we'll start this now. Okay, this time they will ask a question paper in 2024. Slowly you complete and we'll write that 2024 paper. We are more obsessed with the question papers which come from outside. I do not know how that happened. Seriously, I do not know. I have seen students obsessed with essay question. They are taking questions from some site and writing me and showing me. See, UPSC has given you in 10 years literally 80, 70 questions. Sorry, 50 questions. 50 questions if you write from the UPSC essay question paper and show me and I correct it, you will get a higher score. Why do you want some random person giving from some random site? Same way is the case with, anthropology. I will give you some question paper. Okay, well, I will give you, so question வந்து அதான் 50 marks I said la. In that, my question will be there, UPSC question will also be there. That's how I model. You should have an, reflection of what you are reading. If I give randomly, then I am taking you somewhere in relation to the exam. How we will be able to, integrate with this examination is that one question UPSC, one question I will give you. So something like that. We will have this match and we will, do this. This is the point. Any other, இதுல வேற ஏதாவது ஓரியன்டேஷன்ல மிஸ் ஆச்சா? மந்த் வந்து இந்த நோட்ஸ் அதெல்லாம் வந்து we will slowly I will give you, okay, because first in the Zoom classes I used to take it as a very fast, but here it is taking around 3 to 4 months, because 3 to 4 months, because not daily class. This is the point, because classes are in Saturday and Sunday only, no daily class. Daily class, if I keep, when are you going to read? I have to first finish it. Ana in the pattern vandu will have 3 to 4 months. Because I have to sit and I have to, give you the points, then explain you, then connect it with the question paper. It takes a little bit of time. Zoom la vandu I can have the question, both of them I can have it simultaneously, I can talk. Here first I have to do this. So 3 to 4 months. 3 to 4 months completion of all the topics. Not like, I complete some 25% of the portion, then rest of the notes. No, we will discuss, for example, random or topic vechikalam. We will discuss genetics la. Let us assume that we will discuss so genetic load abdine, there is a random, I'm picking up random topic. Genetic load in or topic, there is topic. For this we will have a notes, for this we will have a discussion, for this I will give you a question which you have to write and show me. That's it. For this everything, counts. It's not like, you genetics, if I say everything will be connected, no. Same is the case with everything else. Sharia? So it will take a little time. I hope. I think most dictation. So people also told me that, the first, when I came here, I did not know these things, that, you have to give all these notes, and notes is there. See, I already have. What I do is that, why should I dictate? You copy it, we will discuss. See, double the work. It's for example, feel that it's not going to help you. For example, I tell you one thing, Sahelanthropus chardensis, there is a fossil which is the first start of our human lineage. This is Sahelanthropus chardensis. I have a notes for that. I'll give you that, you write it down. Then we will discuss what is the significance of that with relation to the human line, right? How I am saying that that person or that fossil is the point where we all started. We have to discuss that. Get this idea? And it's there in Ember and Ember. Nowhere, see this word Sahelanthropus chardensis, Oronin tugensis, I think Pinath has added now, but it's in Ember and Ember. And one more thing, okay, maybe I'll end with this. Do you know that we also had very similar cousins, like humans? Neanderthal was one that I hope you know. Neanderthal, do you know? There was a species which was very close to humans. Do you know that we have interbred with them? Interbred, we have their gene in our body. We have their gene in our body. Do you know that like this, there were so many species which were living beside us. Today, we are the only species which is actually left alone. That is, our cousins have gone. One is Neanderthal. Okay. Have you heard about Denisovans? This was a 2019 question. Prelims question. 2019, they asked Denisovans. Do you know that they were, where they were? Australia, va? Tibet and adu proto-australoids. Denisovans, there is a species. They have found it in Ural Mountains. Ural na Russia. Russia and Tibet they have found. Principal area which they have found is Tibet. There has been Homo is the genus. Species Homo sapiens we are. We had many other species which I said, Neanderthal, Denisovans, Flurosiensis. There was one more species, Flurosiensis. There is also one more, one short kind of a species is also there. Lusophonsis, one more species is there. Lusophonsis. And I forgot the name. I think Flurosiensis is smaller version of human beings. Like this Chitrakul and the Madi. Okay, but none of the species have survived. We are the ones left out. Why? We'll end with this. One is group formation, then this is that. But what is it that more significant which has, resulted adaptability? Okay. See, we are the only species which survive on the principle of survival of the friendliest. All other species go by this fact of survival of the fittest. We are the only species because if you see our face, the maximum muscles is for smiling. No other species has that. That is, anybody with a pleasant smile, like அந்த சந்தானம் படத்துல பாத்தீங்க, ஏன் இவரை சூஸ் பண்ணீங்க? அவர் மட்டும் தான் நல்லா சிரிச்சுக்கிட்டே இருந்தார். We are the only species, not Neanderthals were more powerful than we are. See, their hands is double the size of what your hands is. Like, steroid filled hands are there. See, if their whole hold will be like, see, they can crush this. But they did not survive. Denisovans, they did not survive. Flurosiensis, they did not survive. There is Lusophonsis, they did not survive. There is so many other species which people are finding which have traveled along with us, which did not survive. That is because we now think that it's a wrong misconception that Darwin said. I'll end with this. Okay, did Darwin say survival of the fittest? Darwin dana sonnaru the survival of the fittest சொன்னது. Did he use the word? In his book, there is no word called as survival of the fittest. Natural selection is there. Natural selection is there. In his book, the word does not come. Till the last publication, 10th publication lab, that is, they will have different publications, right? First print, second print, third print, like that. Last print, he was about to die. Then they added that word, survival of the fittest, which has mutated now into the society, thinking that, see, if I have to come, I have to pull somebody down. That's the meaning they have, transformed it. But we are the only species which does not survive on the basis of survival of the fittest. Because if you see, adhula innoru point paathukonga. Have you seen this eyes? Adu enna solluvaangala? Soul is the eye beholder. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, something like that, no other species. You go and check. Does those species have this white, it's called a scleron, the white patch, do you think that any other species has? Why? We'll complete with this. These are all part of this whole evolution that I spoke about. General chuma kekran, dogs, have you seen their eyes? Do they have this patch? Chimpanzee irka paathirukeenga? Indha maadhi no other species has? Okay, idu mudichira last the question. That's because, as I told you, we have the maximum number of muscles for smiling. This is because I will know where you are looking at. Other animals camouflage it, but when I look at you, I know that I'm looking at you. We look at directly into our eyes. Kannum nokkinal da, you have all this thing happening. We are the only species which have, there may be some eccentric species. So universe, you will have many eccentricities, but we are the only species which have mastered this habit of. That's why if you become an IPS officer and protection to SPG la morning na, you will wear this the black. That's because, not because of Ray-Ban போட்டுட்டு IPS officer wear this Ray-Ban la, not because stylish la. That's because you should not know what I'm thinking. See, IPS officer enna think பண்றாருன்னு, if you start knowing, then the criminals will overpower that. That's why they wear that. இப்போ ஆவேஷம் படம் பாத்தீங்களா? ஆவேஷம் இல்லையா? அது என்னங்க? See, and I will suggest many movies in the class. ஆவேஷம் பாத்தீங்களா? அந்த ஆவேஷம் நோ என்ன நீங்க பாத்தீங்க? அதுல அந்த இலுமினாட்டி சாங் அதெல்லாம் வரும்ல, அந்த லாஸ்ட் சீன்ல he will come out crying. He will come out crying. அப்போ என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, ஒரு தாத்தா இப்படி எடுத்து கூலிங் கிளாஸ் இப்படி மாட்டி போடா போடா. That's because whatever we think, it's there in the eyes. That's why I also like teaching from here, not Zoom. Zoomல இருந்தா ஒண்ணும் தெரியாது. I also like this. Okay, I hope we have made some I think I have covered every possible angle. Orientation. Any other thing which is left out? Any other thing which is left out? சும்மா anything related to anthropology or whatever, anything related to UPSC you want, because I say it here, then I say it, same thing I say there, repeat the avudu. So if you ask it here, it's easier for me to address, because each individual enna pandren that I have to also learn, because I say the same points, same newspaper, same, you have to read GS to every person individually. So if you ask me now, I can address it. Any other thing which you have in answer writing, questions, any topics, anything which you are scared to, in anthropology, which you have seen, which you are scared to read or something like that, I can address that also. Any சொல்லுங்க. Application on the basic, it will, for example, in which of the fields applications of anthropologies are there? Let us assume they ask. Here in the syllabus, they have spoke about defense, vehicle, but we can talk about more other things. In the class, I will tell you. One eccentric thing that, anthropology has applied is social media. See, Facebook and Twitter was not designed by engineers. Do you know that? Facebook and Twitter have been designed, architectural, all these people, but they are, as a social media, designed by anthropologists and psychologists, because they know what entices us, what makes you fix to that. Marketing, marketing irka, all on the marketing head lam pathina, it will be psychology. Sorry, not psychology, psychology and anthropology. So application, standard application is there in the book, that I will give you, but we will discuss these applications which you can add later, not in the first, because this is a civil services examination which they ask for questions pertaining to which are there in the book. If you diverge from the book, mark கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்க. But ஆனா இந்த மாதிரி add பண்ணா they feel happy. அதை எப்படி add பண்ணணும், எப்படி you have to push it down, we'll talk about it. Any other thing? க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடலாமா? அதான் இது இல்ல, அந்த செப்பரேட் பேட்ச் தான். எப்படின்னா, இது ஃபுல்லா செய்யறேன், இது I am doing this, and also I told you, right, acumen for full GS I am doing. So like the way I explained for one question, so one question, if it is there, how it has to be addressed. Now we were talking about scope and culture, relevance of cultural anthropology. I was talking about a question. GS for every topic I am doing, so it will become very hard for switch panna mudiyala. So that's why I have this class, in the class itself, I will, maybe tell, I will maybe give the schedule of the test batch which I prepared, which I have prepared for the test batch. With lack of team, see how we can grow now, we need a team. So Vision and the other people have a building for their team. I am the only person teaching all these things, so இது கொஞ்சம் டஃபா இருக்கும். சரியா? Other than that, we will discuss everything in the class. Shall I close? சரியா? All the best. Thank you and study well. All the best. Thank you. All the best. Thank you for joining.